I made it into the messenger of the stag. Finally! I can actually start learning and growing more in my weird nature powers. But even more amazing than that, I have actual human friends now. I think, maybe, kind of. I'm not sure what the process of making friends is for humans yet, but maybe it happens just naturally, like how moths make friends. Regardless, I consider them my friends now, and I hope they do as well. It's been so long since I had friends that weren't insectoid or animals of some kind or another. I'm excited to start learning from them all, like Koyu and from Calypso. But I think the people who have the most insight on the world, which I'm kind of excited to finally understand, is Wendy and Danielle. Danielle is a half-elf, like Koyu, but not really like him at all. She has smaller ears than he does. She does magic like Koyu as well, but apparently went to school for it. She calls herself a wizard, and me a druid. Wizards apparently have to learn all their magic from books and scrolls. Druids call on the magic of nature, which tracks how I've always felt about my magic. I always have to meditate to see what nature will allow me to do that day. It is rarely the same type of spells every day. Being a wizard means that Danielle knows a lot about everything in the world. She comes from a faraway country called Bostonia, and it sounds wildly different from the places I've been. She also was surprised that I didn't know her family name when we first met. Her family runs a clothes and style shop that's really big everywhere, apparently. It makes sense because she dresses very fancily. Even her travel clothes seem like it'd be a shame to get them dirty. A little unconventional for traveling, if you ask me, but it makes her happy, so who am I to judge? I honestly wasn't sure Danielle would survive our first quest. Not that she would have died, I wouldn't have allowed that. However, I did get the feeling that she would quit after we got back to Makerford. She was distraught about having to camp on the road, or even wandering off the road at all during our travel to the town where we had our quest. I didn't see much of her during the fight. That first night, that cat creature thing attacked our campsite. Granted, the beast created a magical sort of darkness, so I couldn't see much of anyone during that fight. She did prove herself useful after we defeated the beast, though, knowing what the creature was and that it was from her homeland, a Drickstrider. However, after I started carving up the beast, she became squeamish again, and didn't want anything to do with the parts I carved off, except for some of the ribs. Those are made into jewelry in her country, so she wanted those. I don't blame her for not liking the process of cutting through the beast, though. Guts and gore are horrendous to look at, and even I have trouble looking at the dead sometimes. With animals, it's easier. However, when we came to the bodies that were lacerated by the Lucrata in the town, I understood why she wanted to stay upstairs while we inspected the bodies. I've become used to seeing dead people, but even I have nightmares about the dead sometimes. Regardless of her reaction to traveling and the bodies, she was really helpful in our investigation. I kept borrowing money from her. It was a little embarrassing, but it had been years since I'd used coin. I don't even know if I used it before I...
There's a series of scratched-out sentences drawn with a shaky hand.
Never mind. Point is, she let me borrow her coin purse for the day. That was very generous of her to do so. She basically bought me Spot, a dog that had seen a little of the attack, and got food for him as well. And she wasn't even upset when I gave Spot back to his rightful family after we had talked to him a while. It was very sweet of her. What's more, after we investigated and found the Lucrata, she was actually very competent in spellcasting. She had the killing blow that ended the conflict, bursting a hole all the way through the body of one of the Lucrata, using only sound alone. I was amazed that she held that much power all from reading books. Of course, she was horrified by what she did, but I think she was more concerned about the blood and carnage it had created, much of it falling on her. Good thing Koyu knows cleaning spells. She might have fainted if not. The next day, though, she was her same self. Was a little fazed by the events of the night before, but kept making theories and muttering to herself about what we had found there. It's a little quirk of hers, I think. Ever since then, I've been impressed by her. She knows a lot of things I don't, and she's not afraid of a challenge, even if it's dirt. She doesn't run, she embraces the challenge, even if it scares her to death. Her bravery, intelligence, and generosity are an uncommon set of traits for sure, but a welcomed one that I feel inspired by. I'm honestly excited to learn more about the world from her. I hope she likes my gifts that I gave to the group. Carvings of stag skulls are probably not her thing, but I hope I made hers cute and elegant enough for her. I wanted to make them to show that we're all part of the Messengers of the Stag now, as a group. Well, hopefully more than a group. Hopefully as friends.